live. Hi. Yeah, I know. I don't have a theme yet. I'm still working on it. Maybe after the new year. Who knows? Welcome, welcome, welcome. God, I sound like that chick from the Hunger Games. Welcome to transmissions from the NX 7062 and the Halloween continues version. Because, like I said last week, who says Halloween has to be over on just one day? Hello, hello. How are you this evening? Let's see. Hold on. Not wearing my glasses and I'm on my laptop again. Okay. Hi, how are you, Anne? I'm just going to call you Anne because I can't even read the rest. I'm sorry. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for stopping by tonight. So good to have you here for the Jeff Combs tribute. Woohoo! It's not going to be as big as the one that I went to last summer in outside of Philly in Phoenixville. It was in a complete weekend of nothing. It was 2 days of nothing but Jeff Combs movies, and I actually got a hotel room so that I didn't have to commute, which was really nice. And my buddy Mars was there, which was also nice because Mars is probably she gets credit as a bigger Jeff fan than I am, because I have to admit there were a lot of things, a lot of movies that they showed at this retrospective that I hadn't seen. I mean, obviously, we got to see Reanimator, which I've seen multiple. Hey, LeBeau, stop it. See, and I thought that this was going to be hanging out down here tonight was going to be a great way for you guys to see more than just LeBeau, but he just had a little spat with one of his feline siblings. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I wanted to get into actually before we started talking about Jeff. Had a really rough 12 hours. Yeah, had a really rough 12 hours from last night when I came downstairs and realized that after I got my pizza last night, I forgot I didn't shut my door right. And oh, that's amazing. 22. Yeah, you definitely have me beat. You definitely have me beat. Although that weekend did help get my Jeff Combs number up. 22 is a good number. My front door didn't shut all the way, and a few of my cats got out last night, including both new ones. Lex and Reed got out, and they pretty much came right home the minute I ran out looking for them. I found Lex under my neighbor's car. Thank God he's got a Jeep that's like high up, like I could literally have crawled under it on all fours. So lucky for me. It took a little bit of coaxing, but I got Lex out from underneath. But Chachki, the cat that I've had the longest, she's probably about 15 or 16 years old by now. And she's gotten out before. She's gotten out back before and just kind of chilled out. But Chachki got out, and Pluto got out. And I was hoping to introduce you guys to Pluto tonight, but I don't think that's going to happen. He's upstairs. So yeah, sort of jump to the spoiler. So this morning, I went on the neighborhood app. For anybody that has a Ring doorbell knows, or has the Ring doorbell and has the Ring app, knows that there's a thing called neighborhood where people around the area can post about just about anything: porch pirates, creepy people hanging out, vandals. What is there a fire somewhere? It's a really handy little app. Never had to use it myself, but I used it this morning posting that 2 of my cats got out. And somebody very sweet wrote to me and said there's a post about somebody that found a white and black cat last night. I go to that post and it's a picture of Chachki. So there were a bunch of problems with the app. I literally almost threw my phone across the room, but she was really nice. And it turned out that the cat just kind of got to the next street over, and she found somebody that took her in. They took her to the vet to look for a chip. She's not chipped. And I just walked up and met her, halfway between our houses. And here's the little escape artist right now. Did you know we were talking about you, Princess? This is Chachki. Like I said, I've had her for forever. I was only supposed to foster her for a friend until I found her a home, and she ended up coming into my home. Anyway, her name Chachki is because when she sits, right after I got her, she got herself up on a shelf, and when she sat down and curled herself up, she literally looked like a porcelain cat. It was absolutely adorable. So my mom said, well, if she looks like a little, name her Tchotchke. So I did. Anyway, so I was working on getting Tchotchke sorted out. Hey, Dave, happy Monday. So I was working on getting Tchotchke sorted out. And thanks to my friend who I told about losing Pluto, she reminded me not just to put out food, but to put out like laundry that smelled, like laundry that hadn't been washed yet that smelled like me. And I grabbed that. I grabbed a pillow out of the guest room where he yes, absolutely cute alert. Grabbed the big pillow where put all that outside. I had taken my Ring camera and extended the radius that activated the motion sensors, because when my Alexa goes off and says that there's motion at the front door, the dog goes crazy. So I kind of pulled it back, but then I opened it up this morning, and next thing I know, not 10 minutes after I put out all the stuff, I hear that there's motion at the front door, and I walk up, and there's Pluto just sitting on the porch. He had eaten all the wet food that I'd put out. So I went out good evening, Dave. Good evening, Dave. I went out very quietly, and he was talking to me, and I went around, and thank God he just let me pick him up. And I took him to the house, but it's been a day. That was, between the time that I realized the door was open and getting everybody back in the house, it was just a little over 12 hours, or just around 12 hours. So I am very fortunate the universe saw fit to help me and give me all of my babies back. And the woman who found Tchotchke for me said, the cat distribution system worked the way it was supposed to. Tchotchke got to spend one night out and about and away from all of her siblings, and then she came back. And I heard she's a very good house guest, but she's also never going to do that to me again. So that's been my day. But I'm just really glad to be here with you guys to kind of end it on a note, and talking about Jeff is a really great way to end it. Jeff is a fantastic person. He is, yeah, exactly. Hugh is the right word, Dave. Jeff's an awesome human being. If you ever have a chance to meet him at an event, I highly, highly recommend it. I was going to do show and tell tonight, and like I said, the day, it's just been crazy, and I completely forgot. I have Jeffrey Combs' signature on an Edgar Allan Poe graphic novel. It's not a hard, it's not like a paper. It's like, where's Magic Lasso? It's like the laminated covers, so it's not quite paper, but it's not quite a hardback. So I just happened across it in my local comic book shop, and I was right before I was leaving for Vegas, and I thought this is the perfect thing to have Jeffrey Combs sign, because I've seen him do his one man Edgar Allan Poe, and I'm a huge Edgar Allan Poe fan, which is also why I wanted to introduce you guys to Pluto, because he sort of reminds me of the cat from The Black Cat, which is one of my favorite stories. And it's one of the things that I was going to talk to you tonight. Let's just roll right into this. Jeff Combs did a Masters of Horror, which is kind of like Creep Show and Tales from the Crypt. Masters of Horror. It's about an hour long. And I completely forgotten about it until I went last summer to the retrospective, because that's one of the things that they showed. Oh, Jeff was an unbelievable. Jeff also did a Creep Show, go figure. But he did Edgar Allan Poe in this amazing Masters of Horror. Jeff has been everywhere. I am just scrolling through his IMDb page just to get answers, and it's just, oh my God, it's just he was in Doom Patrol. See, he's done a lot of TV. He did Penny Dreadful. Wait, what's this Penny Dreadful? I loved Penny Dreadful. Oh, the Penny Dreadful picture show. He's done voice work. He, half the time, I think he's pretty much gone pretty even. He's acted as himself. He's acted under makeup, and he's done voice acting. So he's kind of hit all three of the big. Things you can do. under makeup, out of makeup, and then just your voice. And I think that's amazing. I don't know what year. I'm just trying to figure out what year he did Masters of Horror. But Masters of Horror is amazing. Yeah, it was. It was kind of. It really was. And they had the cat. I completely agree. They had the cat in that, and he tried to hang it. And I've tried. It's been a while since I've actually read it. I have it. I have it. It's one of the first digital books I got, was a collection of Edgar Allan Poe stories, and poems. But I'm pretty sure that the part where he hanged the cat and then the cat. Thank you. It was 2000. I appreciate that. Always love audience participation. It was 2007. See, I was scrolling there, and I was scrolling there. I got down. I'm in 2004. Yeah. So, in fact, wait, hold on. 2007. Yeah, probably like yep, I was like 3 scrolls away. Edgar Allan Poe, 1 episode. Hold on. IMDb is going to tell me exactly which episode. It was season 2, episode 11, and it was called The Black Cat. And it was anyway, and I'm pretty sure, like I said in the book, it was a black cat. Then he hung the cat. Then another cat. He thought the cat was dead, and then another cat came into his life, and it had a white ring around it. That was in the Masters of Horror, and Pluto is the name of the cat in the book. And my Pluto, he doesn't have a ring around his neck. That would be too on the nose, but he does have a little white patch on his chest. He's not a tuxedo technically, because he's not like, that's it. The only white mark is the white mark on his chest, which reminds me of the story. So hence I wanted to name him Pluto. And then Lex, of course, named after the one and only Alexander Luthor. And in fact, when I was picking them up, I made a point of saying Gene Hackman is, no offense, the new Lex is good, but Gene played him perfectly. So Masters of Horror. Let's see, watch options for that. This is the other. This is kind of what I like about IMDb, is it gives you watch options. The only problem is it doesn't give you all the watch options because it's Amazon owned. So it gives you a decent number of watch options, but I never take it at its word. If I can't find it on IMDb, I will look elsewhere. But watch options on IMDb are always a good place to start. Let's see what they says for Master. Watch it on Prime Video. Hey, season 2 is included with Prime. So there you go. Season 2 is included with Prime. So if you have a Prime Video subscription, I highly recommend Jeff. You know, the one thing I didn't get to talk to him about, but if that was his first turn as Poe, I'm sure that's what inspired him to do his one-man show, which was fantastic, which I really hope he brings back. I fortunately got to see it in Sleepy Hollow, of all places, because I don't live too far from Sleepy Hollow, New York. So I got to see it in Sleepy Hollow, which, if you're going to see Jeff Combs be Reanimator, be Poe, Sleepy Hollow is the place to do it. Some of the other stuff that I got to see, and you know, it's really sad that I didn't see The Frighteners until that weekend. He was fantastic in The Frighteners. The Frighteners was fantastic across the board. I had no idea what to expect. None whatsoever, because I'd seen the previews, obviously, when the movie came out. But I mean, seriously, Michael J. Fox, who doesn't love Michael J. Fox? And I'm really, really mad at myself for not seeing it sooner. But if you're looking for a little bit of horror, if you're light on the horror, if you love Jeff and you're not, but you're light on the horror, this is more like of a horror comedy kind of deal. Yeah, it has a little bit of grossness to it, but I think if you're a Jeff Combs fan, but you're not a huge horror fan, that's the way to go, as opposed to something like Reanimator. 3 of those, all completely gross and gory. Robert Picardo was a great master. Oh, that's good to know. Robert Picardo has a good. I've talked to Bob a little bit about playing evil too, because he was the bad guy in an episode of CSI Las Vegas a couple years ago, and got to talk about how fun it is to play bad. So Reanimator, that's where we're going. And you know, it's interesting because Eli Roth does this special for AMC called it's called what is it called? Horror's Greatest. like horror's greatest, and they dissect different, like monsters, possess. I don't know. I think I know they did one on animals. Um, but anyway, so they did one on like evil mad scientists, and they likened Herbert West to Dr. Frankenstein, and I don't know why I never put that together so before, but that puts Herbert West up there with Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee and those fantastic Hammer horrors. And I've got no problem with that because you know the Reanimator movies are fantastic. They're very Evil Dead style, like over the top gore, which is fine with me. Um, the zombie the detached head scene with the girl in the morgue is got a like top 15 creepiest scenes of horror in another show that I used to watch. I think it was like top 10 horror, top 10 something, top 10 or top 20 list of horror stuff, and that one won for like grossest, which makes perfect sense. So yeah, so Rihanna, but they're the first of all, you get to see Jeff with hair, which is funny, like his actual hair. But there's this sincerity to that character, like his dedication to his work, um, which obviously becomes an obsession. Which obviously then his sidekick becomes obsessed. It's a great trilogy to watch. Um, and like I said, that overacted, well, not overacted, but that over the top stuff, like I said, like Evil Dead is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to watch. What the other exciting thing that I just found out tonight while I was scrolling through Jeff's stuff is that Stream is out on video. Stream, which I have talked about on a couple times because I know Damien Leone, who was involved with Stream. He's the guy that's responsible for Terrifier 1, 2, 3. And 4. There's a fourth one. Shit, Halloween's over. I don't know if they did a screening. I thought it was going to be out by now. But I just saw that Stream is out, and I actually before okay, let's try this again. Before Creation lost their license, they did one final Star Trek convention in New Jersey back. I think it was like 2017. 17 or 18. I think it was 17. And I had just met Damien, and Damien had mentioned Stream, so I actually got to ask Jeff about it. He and Connor were the Enterprise people there, so they gave them a panel together, and I got to ask Jeff about it, and he said it was really good, and they really enjoyed working on it. And Damien's amazing. He is such an amazingly talented. He's such an amazingly talented makeup artist, and I absolutely love Terrifier. They're so good. Okay, so let's see. Hammer. We're talking Hammer. Gotta love fellow Hammer fans. Hammer in Strange New World. Oh, I see. I'm not wearing my I won't wear my glasses when I'm doing that. Hammer in Strange New Worlds talks like Herbert West sometimes. I always thought, especially in Elysian Kingdom. Oh, that's funny. I will have to go back and watch that because I said Hammer, so I was thinking Hammer, but you were talking about Hammer, who's the Enoch from Strange New Worlds. Gave us one season. Bruce Hornack played him fantastically. I will have to check that out. Never occurred to me, but it's been a minute since I've watched. So Stream is available on Prime Video. It came out last year. And I'm not enabling the app. I don't want to watch it now, but it is available on Prime Video. So it looks like it is available with your subscription. Woo! So, so I got to see Frighteners. I got to see Masters of Horror. There was this one really interesting horror where he was actually the hero of a horror film. Oh my God. Castle Creep. I think it's called Castle Creep. Hold on, let me look. I think it's called Castle Creep. See, Castle Freak. It's called Castle Freak. It came out in 1995. Jeff plays a man who travels to Italy. He inherits a castle from one of those distant relatives that he didn't know existed, and he inherits this castle. So he and his estranged wife and their blind daughter head out to Italy, and it turns out that there is literally a freak living in the dungeon of the castle that was being taken care of by Jeff's relative, and then as the story unfolds, you find out that basically this is Jeff's character, spoiler alert, but this came out in 95. Jeff's cousin, basically. It's and they weren't kidding when they said freak. There's some pretty freaky stuff going on in there, but believe it or not, Jeff is not the villain of the story. So I recommend it. As far as seeing Jeff not be the evildoer, it was good. He was good, and like I said, it's a freaking freaky movie. It's absolutely yeah. My skin was crawling at certain points during that when I was watching it. Oh, okay. I can't not talk about my absolute favorite non-Star Trek role that he's done. Like I said, I love Reanimator, Master of Horror. Anything where he does Poe is fantastic. But the best of the best, one of my favorites is Would You Rather. Yep, he and Stuart Gordon worked together on that one. That's correct. And Stuart got the inspiration. Jeff was at the thing last year. He got the idea for the title of the movie based off, I think, a poster or something in his office. There was just random stuff in his office, and he put like a couple words. He's like, Castle Freak. That's a good name for a movie. Like literally, he came up with the title of the movie before he came up with the movie, because that's the way his mind worked, which I absolutely love. And which also I reminded Jeff was the way they came up with, the Beatles came up with a song for the benefit of Mr. Kite. Because Jeff is also a Beatles fan, which is another reason why I love Jeff so much. But Would You Rather is okay. I love that I have a true. I really wish I would have gone after Mars. Mars is going to kill me for not inviting her specifically to this. From Beyond and Dr. Mordred are my fave non-Trek West roles. Okay, I like how you're like, okay, we're going to put Herbert over here, and we're going to put Star Trek over here, and then there's another category. I absolutely love that. From Beyond and Dr. Mordred. Okay, I will have to put those on my list because I think I missed those. But have you seen Would You Rather? There, for me, speaking of like lists and dividing things, for me, I think one of my favorite things is the way I look at horror. I'm sorry, guys, I am so just out of it. I might have to do a part 2 for this. One of my things that I do is I separate my horror. There's horror like Hostel, where it's people doing horrible things to people. And then there's the horror like Freddy and Jason and Mike Myers. Okay, then I won't there's a twist. There's a really good twist, so I won't spoil the twist. Would You Rather falls into the category of people doing horrible things to people and how far you could push things. Now, Would You Rather, we all know, is a game that people play, and it's usually in hypotheticals. Would you rather do A or B? And neither of them are, and obviously neither of them are great, and you have to basically pick the lesser of the two evils. So it's obviously taking that gameplay and amping it up to a horror level, and it's Jeff that's leading it. But that's not the reason that I liked it. That's not the reason that I liked it as much as the fact that he was paired in this movie with Robin Lord Taylor, who I've also worked with, who I know, who I absolutely adore, who, for those of you that don't know, played a beautiful version of the Penguin in Gotham. That's how I knew. But Robin Lord Taylor is matched with Jeff Combs in this, and they're both absolutely fantastic. And if you watched Gotham, Robin Lord Taylor's basically blonde. That whole black hair thing is all dye. And so you get to see him as a blonde in this, and he's fantastic in this. And I don't want to say any more about it because I don't want to thank you for saying you haven't seen it yet, because I'm just going to say I think you'll really enjoy it. You'll have to let me know, either comment here or I'm at the NX7062 or NX7062 all over the socials. You'll have to let me know what you think of it. But like I said, there's a very different level of cringy horror when it's people doing things to people. Hostel is like that. Hostel, it's like I can watch Freddy slash through like 12 people and not flinch. But when I watch Hostel, sometimes I want to hide behind the pillar. Yep. I will give you that as well. Absolutely. Very true. Barbara Crampton. And yeah, Dave, yes, on the Penguin. He was fantastic. And I told him this the first time I got to work with him at Heroes and Villains. His chemistry with the guy that played the Riddler was so perfect for the way that they wrote those two parts. I thought it was fantastic. All right, I gotta look up From Beyond, because you know what? I saw so many movies that weekend. I could have seen it and like literally forgotten. Literally forgotten that I saw it. Of course, LeBeau's laying right in front of my cheat sheet. Oh, we're going all the way back to 1987. Oh, yes. The Resonator, a machine which allows whoever is within range to see beyond normal perceptible realities. Yeah, hold on. I think I did see this one. Yep, Barbara Crampton. Ted Searle. Yeah, I did. That was one. Yep, that was absolutely one of them. You're right. That was a really good one too. Yes. Saw also. Yeah, absolutely Saw. Speaking of which, I'm going to interject a really quick Star Trek related movie review in the middle of this. I did do my annual Halloween Kills watch on Friday, because I will watch Halloween Kills. I will always watch Halloween Kills on or around Halloween. And now that I have it digitally, I could literally sit and work. Like the work I was doing on my computer, I could literally work and watch Halloween Kills. Also, basically, because I've seen it so many times, who actually needs to watch it? I just need to listen to it. Anyway, so I did Halloween Kills, and I thought, okay, I should do at least one more somehow Star Trek related movie. And I thought about it, and I thought I was thinking I was kind of in the mood for Cube. But then I'm like, so I decided I'd watch Cube 2, knowing that Nicole DeBoer was not going to be in it. I'm like, you know what, though? I want to see the sequel. So I watched the sequel. It's called Cube 2 Hypercube. And while there was no Star Trek person in it, somebody literally said, oh, so it's like Beam Me Up, Scotty. So I thought, oh, look, there's Star Trek in it anyway. If you haven't seen it, it's okay. Bias aside about Nicole DeBoer being in the first one, I liked the first one better. A lot of that too also had to do with the fact that you could get motion sick watching Hypercube, because of the way the cube the rooms don't just slide like they did in the original. It does all this weird stuff. So the cameras are constantly making the rooms look like they're rolling, and people's heads are popping in and out of the doors. So Cube the original is still on my favorite list. Cube 2, and I don't think I need to see it again, but I am glad I saw it. And I always feel like Cube is the precursor to Saw. Because it's people doing hard. It's people put in this really weird, impossible circumstance where they either work together or they all end up going crazy and turn on each other. And in the end, you find out that that was actually more the plot of the one Saw that had, oh my God. Julie Ben's in it. Darla from Buffy and Angel was in one of the Saws, and literally the moral of that particular one is, had they all worked together, they probably all could have survived if they hadn't been so selfish. But Saw almost is like a really gross morality play. And Cube is the same thing. It's like it's putting the first one was putting regular people in an impossible circumstance to see what happened. And that was the other thing. In Cube 2, the one guy that went crazy, it was like from 0 to 100, and it didn't make none of it made sense. It made sense in the first one, and a lot of the stuff felt like it was just trying to be a carbon copy of the first one, but didn't make sense in the second one. So that's my thing. But yeah, I did see From Beyond at the retrospective, and it was excellent. That one was really excellent, with a really freaky guy that was like all things. Let me see. I think I'm really not sticking around long tonight, guys. I love that you're here with me. Love it. But it has been a challenging 12 hours, like I said. So Dave, what is your favorite Jeff Combs non-Star Trek thing? That's what we're here to talk about tonight. I might do non-Star Trek. Like I said, Reanimator's up there for me. From Beyond was excellent. I can't wait to watch Stream and let you guys all know what I think. Like I said, Jeff's resume is ridiculous. I will keep talking about Cube. Don't think I won't. Cube was so dang good. Now I want to rewatch. Great to watch with someone else, and possibly on Elevated Substance. The way I've been reacting to Elevated Substances lately, I am not sure that Cube would be a good movie for me to watch on an Elevated Substance, oh yeah, by the way, Jeff was in Unbelievable, which is a horror movie for another reason, but he was in Unbelievable. By the way, Unbelievable, again, most Star Trek actors in one project, but it's just it's sort of unwatchable. And I have that on excellent authority, that I'm really don't want to repeat who told me, but it was somebody that was in the movie. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. But when somebody that's in the movie tells you it's going to be a waste of your time to see it, you tend to agree with them. Oh, he did Night of the Living Dead reanimation. See, these are other things. It was like 2 days to do a Jeff Combs horror retrospective was not enough. And I think it was like six things one day, 7 things another day. I mean, but as you look through his stuff, he did Return to House on Haunted Hill. Nope, didn't see that one. The Wizard of Gore. Nope. Masters of Horror. Yep. But I mean, when you sit there and look through all of his stuff, he did this one with the guy that played Billy from Ally McBeal, and I thought that one was really good because I like Billy from Ally McBeal, but that wasn't horror. That wasn't like a real horror movie, which is fine. Oh, see, he was in Fear.com and Contagion. Yeah, I'm learning to do cheat sheets. Magic Lasso taught me that it's okay to have a cheat sheet. Oh, he was also in House on Haunted Hill. I saw that. He was in The Net. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I know I get it, guys. All I'm doing right now is just sitting here, like, literally just reading off of his page. He did Aliens. He did in one of the Aliens movies. Oh my god. There's Castle Freak, 1995. Why am I not seeing like the movies that he was in Sisters. Sisters was good. Necronomicon, Book of the Dead, which was an H.P. Lovecraft. Oh, there's Dr. Mordred. Did we watch Dr. Mordred? An unspeakable evil has come into the dimension and wants to rule over Earth, and only a mysterious source and Dr. Mordred can stop him. I'm watching this. Yeah, I think we did. We did watch this. Yeah, we did watch this. I'm literally watching the trailer because I'm trying to remind myself. Yes. It was a video ride thing. Saw it on YouTube. Oh, okay. That sucks because I love Alien. I love all the Alien. I love Aliens. Reanimator. Okay, so Reanimator is tops for Dave. Hard to beat Reanimator, but he popped up in House on Haunted Hill, which was cool. Okay, well, so if we go by the scale of Star Trek and Reanimator are their own categories, then everything else can fall into the other categories. Okay. Oh, the dog's pushing on my arm. But yep, definitely saw Dr. Mordred. I love fantasy stuff. I'm good with the fantasy stuff. So it keeps going back to the beginning. Okay. Oh, hey, Chris. So, Chris, before we wrap up, because I'm making it a short one tonight, what is your favorite Jeffrey Combs horror movie? That's what we're looking for tonight. We've already got votes for the Reanimator series, which pretty much goes without saying. Mine is Would You Rather, because it's people doing horrible stuff to people. We've also got votes for, what else do we have votes for? From Beyond. We have votes for From Beyond and Dr. Mordred, which are both excellent, which I'm proud to say I have actually seen. Woohoo. So Chris, what is your favorite? Yes, you're right. The heyday was definitely in the 80s and the 90s with the bad special effects, but that doesn't mean anything. That absolutely doesn't mean anything. Who needs special effects when you've got good story? I mean, we're going to go back to look at Evil Dead or Reanimator. Let's look at Reanimator. I mean, some of those special effects were, ugh. He does voice work in these 3 animated H.P. Lovecraft. Okay. He does voice work in these 3 animated H.P. Lovecraft as a kid on adventure movies. Christopher Plummer is in those 2. Well, gotta love anything that's got Christopher Plummer in it. Voice work on HP. Okay. All right. So does that rank as your favorite? Is the voice work he did for the H.P. Lovecraft stuff? That's totally valid. Completely valid. Well, okay, so he was in Reanimator. I don't know if you saw Reanimator. It's one of those things, I think too, you might have even seen a movie that he was in. The first time I watched Reanimator was because it made that list with that one scene. I'm like, I have to see the movie that created this scene. And it predated my Enterprise days. It had to predate 2016 was the first time I ever knew about Reanimator. I know I was behind the times. Knew about Reanimator and the first time I watched it, I didn't even realize that it was him. And then I got the video and I loved it. Didn't realize it was him. And I think Star Trek I came back into Star Trek. Then Chiller is a huge horror convention that happened. Oh no, it wasn't Chiller, it was Monster Mania. Monster Mania is a huge horror convention that happens here next town over from me. And he was going to be there, and they listed all the stuff he did. And I went, wait, he was in Reanimator? And I had to rewatch it to realize that yes, Tran was the Reanimator. Oh, was somebody else new in here? Evil Dead was supposed to be bad. Hi, Amanda. I'm not. Was Evil Dead supposed to be bad? I mean, it was Sam's first big film. I don't think it was supposed to be bad. I think it was supposed to turn all the rules of horror on its ear. I mean, yes, it was classic Cabin in the Woods stuff, but after that, he just really wanted to kind of go. Sam just kind of wanted to go in this really weird direction, and he is really tough to work with. If you watch any of the Bruce Campbell interviews, Sam can be really he's so into the art of making the film that sometimes he can be really hard to work with. And he likes torturing Bruce Campbell by having the Oldsmobile show up. The Oldsmobile in Spider-Man 2, where Bruce Campbell plays the usher at Mary Jane's play, I believe is the scene. If you look, that Oldsmobile, the Ash's Oldsmobile's on the street. It's Sam's car. He loves that Oldsmobile, and Bruce hates it. And Sam always brings it on set. And Bruce gets tortured by it. Yes, they definitely love to go overboard. The other thing that Sam Raimi likes to do is play Where's Waldo with his brother Ted. If you watch basically anything Sam Raimi does, eventually Ted will show up. Ted did not show up until Army of Darkness. Couldn't think of the third movie. Showed up in Army of Darkness, which really surprised me, but he showed up. Showed up in Spider-Man, showed up in Army of Darkness. If it is as Joxer the Mighty, he shows up whenever Sam does something, which I absolutely love, because I've met Ted Raimi. Did not say he's where's Waldo to Sam, but I actually did get to meet Ted Raimi. Yes, thank you. If you're just rolling in, please like and subscribe. Now that is awesome. I got a picture with Ted. I don't have his autograph, but I got a picture with Ted. I would love to meet Bruce one day. I would love to meet Bruce. Bruce is just, my sister's got a cat that she adopted. She named him Ash, and I always call him Ashy Slashy. Who said that they didn't know about Jeff until Star Trek? Was that you, Chris? Was that you? Yeah. Can't argue with H.P. Lovecraft. I didn't. Yeah, I was literally hovering over it, so I didn't see it. I'm sorry, Chris. I didn't know about him until Star Trek. I'm trying to think when I knew. I mean, like I said, I watched Reanimator. I had no idea who Jeff Combs was, so I might have to agree with you, Chris. I may not have known exactly who Jeff was until Star Trek. I might have to be right there with you on that, Chris. But I mean, that's fine, because I have been known to find out about actors that have had huge bodies of work. I have been known to find out about them like way further along in their career. And then one of my favorite things to do is then go back, and I just get to rediscover everything else that they've ever done. I had no idea who Chris Noth was until I saw him in Sex and the City, only to find out he literally starred in the very beginnings of the Law and Order franchise. He was the first. He was one of the first detectives on Law and Order, and in fact, he went through 3 partners before they booted him. And then they booted him for Benjamin Bratt, which was, I do not like Benjamin Bratt. Yeah. So Chris Noth. That's how I got involved in Law and Order, because I started watching Law and Order because he was in it. Huge fan and name cats after Xena characters. I haven't gotten to Xena yet. I've never named all of my pets have fandom names. Xena I haven't gotten around to yet. Like I said, I've got Lex and Pluto are the latest additions to my yeah, it's fun too, Chris, isn't it? Because it gives you a whole new things to start binge watching. Haven't gotten to Xena. I might have to. The thing is I only usually end up with male animals, but I would definitely consider, if I ever get another black cat. I am now up to 3 plus a tuxedo plus Reed, who's sitting over here. But if I ever get another black cat, I may have to consider naming him Aries. It's not a bad idea. Pluto's a Roman god, but I do prefer the Greek mythologies. So, yeah, I might have to do. Autolycus is a good name too. Watch me go through. Autolycus is a good name. Aries is a good name. There's some really good male names, and if you want to look, you don't have to look any further than the fact that oh my god, why am I completely blanking on his name? Oh, Carl Urban. Carl Urban played Cupid and a couple other characters in Xena, so you don't even have to look that far to tie it all into Star Trek because Carl Urban was in Xena a few times. So, see, Xena's not that much of a tangent. Let me think. Is there any other way to tie Xena into Star Trek besides Carl? Kevin, I don't know what Kevin Smith's body of work was outside of Xena. Well, Kevin Sorbo did not Babylon 5. What did he do? Andromeda. So there might be. Oh, wait. Wasn't Andromeda Gene Roddenberry? There you go. Wasn't Andromeda Gene Roddenberry? I named an outdoor cat Autolycus, however you spell it. I love that. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense because they come and go, right? Autolycus would pop in and pop out and take whatever he could, Prince of Thieves. But what Andromeda was a Gene Roddenberry series, and Kevin Sorbo starred in that. So there you go. There's another tie-in. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm on the right. Oh, there you go. Alex Kurtzman worked on Xena. Thank you for that. Andromeda was. There we go. So there's the. All right, cool. Love it when I'm validated on things that I didn't even remember I remembered. Sometimes I even impress myself, gang. All right, I'm going to take a poll. There's not that many of you here tonight. Hopefully everybody else will be doing a rewatch, which always helps the numbers. But I'm thinking I might need to do, and I think Magic Lasso's got something up his sleeve for me if I do another one of these. But I may decide to do a new 6 Degrees of Separation from Star Trek show, which is where you guys... yeah. He's... yeah, not a huge Kevin Sorbo fan. I did like him as Hercules, but I am not a huge fan since Hercules for a couple of different reasons. But I may be doing another 6 Degrees of Separation Star Trek show where you, the audience, get to come up with any actor you want, and I will try. And a lot of times I'm able to do, depending on who the actor is, sometimes I can even do it without IMDb. But I will try to get that actor hooked to Star Trek within 6 Degrees of Separation. And believe it or not, Star Trek is almost easier to do than Kevin Bacon. And I have connected Kevin Bacon to Star Trek in 2. Just as a Kevin Bacon did A Few Good Men with Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise did American Made with Connor Trinneer. So that's my favorite way to get Kevin Bacon to Star Trek. There's probably a million other ones, but if I can throw Connor Trinneer in the mix, then that's my favorite way. But that's how I can connect Kevin Bacon to Star Trek. It's entirely possible he's even 1 degree of separation, because I'm sure somebody that he has worked with has been directly on Star Trek. But like I said, that's my favorite way to connect them, because I love Connor's little George W. Bush in American Made. If you haven't seen American Made, it is an excellent based on American history. I grew up during the Iran-Contra affair, but I was young, so having it put in perspective in the movie was fantastic, and Tom Cruise was great as always. But the fact that they got Connor to do George W. Bush, even for the small scene, was great. And it's towards the end, so if you happen to be scrolling through and you see it pop up on your screen and you don't really care to watch it, if it's anywhere towards the end, I think it's probably, if it's on TV, maybe within the last hour of the movie, check it out, because there's a point where Tom Cruise's character gets called to the White House, and that's where he bumps into W. No, it's not W. It's Junior. He bumps into Junior. All right, guys. I know this wasn't a huge retrospective overview of Jeff Combs' work, but it was tonight the Jeff Combs Appreciation Society, because we love Jeff and we love absolutely everything that he does. And the one thing that we didn't talk about, I will mention real quick, he is a member of the Star Trek Rack Pack. They are a fantastic group. They play at the end of they close Las Vegas every year. Whenever they can get all of them together at other shows, like on the cruise, they perform on the cruise, they perform at the satellite conventions. And their CD is available now. So it's just great. It's parody songs, it's Star Trek themed, it's Star Trek themed originals, it's Star Trek themed parody songs like Zindi, which is about the 3rd season of Enterprise, but it's to the tune of the Association song Windy. So anyway, be sure to send me an invite to the 6 Degrees of Separation episode. Oh, Amanda, thanks. I would love to see that. That's probably going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks. Dave made a note. Yes, everybody is invited, please. And Amanda, of course, please like and subscribe in the show. Hit the little bell, and Dave can give you a note, and then the show will automatically send you a note, and you'll see every week what's going on. And you're more than welcome. I would love to see you come to the 6 degrees. Those CDs went fast in Vegas. Didn't get one. I believe you can get them online. I think you can get them online. Or if you're going to Vegas again, see, I also let me do some checking for you and see if there's a way to get you on if they're not readily available online. I think they're selling them online, but I'm gonna I'll check into that. Oh, that was okay, that was on. Sorry, like I said, the other thing too is, as you see, I kept the Halloween font, which kind of makes it hard to read everybody's thing. But all right, thank you for the subscribe. Every little bit helps. I really appreciate you guys. Like I said, I'm fading. I'm surprised that I've been here for almost an hour. But you guys, your support means so much to me. I can't thank you enough. I wouldn't be here if you guys weren't here, and I love hanging out and talking about truck to you guys. But yeah, let me look into it and see if there's and I'll post about it if there are, but I'll see if there's some Rat Pack CDs available. I actually got mine in San Francisco when it'll be 2 years ago this January when they did their first San Francisco show. They had them there, so I was able to pick mine up there. And I absolutely love it. Anyway, guys, thank you again for hanging out with me. What's next week's show? Who knows? Could it be the 6 degrees of separation? Maybe it's going to be something else. Got to follow me on the socials to find out. Until I see you all again, please don't forget